I was thinking about what to call this talk, this exchanging of my ideas around joy. And what came was joy and emergent strategy. That's pretty cool, right? So first I invite everybody to close the eyes, find that focal point, and taking some breaths. And I'm desiring to be transparent with you. I invite you to do this because this is my process as well. Thank you. And when I say this is my process, this is what I do before I start anything. When I get in the car, before I drive, before I even start the car, I take breaths. Whenever I'm about to engage in anything, I really lean into the breath so that my highest intention is what is experienced. Now, I don't do this every single time because sometimes I forget, and there are occasions when I'm running late and I don't have time to breathe, right? That sounds sad, but it's my truth. I don't have time to breathe the way I'd like to intentionally. But I make sure that at some point during my day, if I haven't done it then, I make it happen, right? So I encourage you to find the breath throughout your days. Another reason why I'm inviting you to join me in breath is because ideally this is a bridge for you to kind of come to this moment, letting go of most of the thoughts anyway that are occupying your mind and taking residence so that you're open to what I want to share with you, human to human. So again, joy and emergent strategy. I want you to think about the last time you experienced joy. You can close your eyes if that's helpful. Think about that last time. Some of us have to travel back a little further than others, and that's okay. But once you're able to connect with that time, play it out like a movie in your mind's eye, scene by scene by scene, seeing the cast of characters, noting dialogues, bringing awareness to the embodiment of joy. How do you know it was joy? Leaning into that, whatever that is. And then think about the last time you thought about this. For some, maybe not so recent. Maybe for others, it was pretty recent. For some reason, the way we're socialized in this society, the way we're raised, no matter your ethnicity, no matter your belief system, no matter any of the things, we're just not raised to lean into joy for the most part, which is kind of sad because it really can be integral to our heart's desires, to the things that we're working towards. Whether they're things outside of us or they're the tools we're trying to build as we cultivate. For some of us, well, no, not even for some of us, I can say, without knowing most of you intimately, that everyone in this room has experienced some kind of trauma. And I just want that to land a little bit because We have an idea that we're the only one who's experienced whatever the thing is, or we're the only one who knows what fill in the blank is, right? And I'm here with testimony to say joy is a strategy, it's a tool. And you think about going back a little further, who taught you joy? Who introduced it to you as a thing, an actual thing? Think about it. Who was your teacher with this? We learn how to read, we learn how to write, we learn mathematics. Who taught you joy? And if there's not a name or a face that's coming to mind, then you get to teach yourself joy. Often we have like a survivor's remorse. Like, wow, I don't have to deal with this, or this, so I have to really stay steady. And I have to work hard. And I have to really grind. And I have to do the things. And I'm here to say that's not always true. What if we welcomed joy in our quest to get to said things? What if we leaned into the unlearning that joy is just for people who, and then fill in the blank? Because we all have that belief that, well, joy is cool, but those folks who've got a whole lot kind of are the ones who really benefit from joy. I don't really have a lot of space in my life for that. And that's a truth for a lot of us. But the beautiful thing about these kinds of spaces is we get to set new intention and we get to choose new approaches that seed how we see life, how we show up. One way to experience joy that you probably, or maybe you've thought about it, but in this moment, maybe not, is through eating. Thinking about the meals that we've had here. Am I the only one who's been like, oh my God, food is delicious. And the ability to savor and be mindful, not just inhaling it, but really taking the time to chew. And if this hasn't been your experience, because it's so good, we get it. But from here forward, the invitation is to be mindful. And as you're chewing, as you're enjoying the food, as you savor, think about the origin of it. Think about from whence it has come. And that's a joy in and of itself, to know that somebody grew the food, somebody picked the food, somebody gathered the food, somebody loaded it on a truck or a plane, and then on the other end, somebody took the food and positioned it nicely, whether it was at a farmer's market or a grocery store or what have you. And then somebody took the time to cook it and prepare it, clearly with love. Anybody who's seen Water for Chocolate, you really get me. There was love in this food. And because it tastes so delicious, and because of that love, there's a joy that we experience as we partake in it. Another opportunity for joy that's right at our fingertips is nature. I think it's impossible to be in this space and see the trees and the water and the benches that seem to be calling your name, like, come sit. Or the grass that's like, ooh, walk this way. The gentle slopes and all the offerings, even the chapel. Someone posed that question about the chapel. It's all around us in this space. So we get to connect with it. It is a joy. We don't have to be rolling around in the grass to experience joy, we can embody the joy, like, wow, I get to be in this space. I don't take it for granted. And not taking it for granted means I'm really honored for this opportunity to experience it. Another avenue for joy is laughter. Think about the last time you laughed. And I mean like a belly laugh, where you were like, maybe there were tears because of your laughter. We don't take it for granted. But it does something to the body when we release in that way, right? There's a serious shift. I mean, think about sometimes when you laugh so hard that maybe your cheeks hurt because your mouth's just not used to the up. It's used to the down, because we easily wear a frown, right? That's our default often. That's our automatic pilot. But when we get to really shift it, oh, it's a beautiful shift in the body. It's healthy for the body, right? Another avenue of joy are those people in our lives who make us feel loved. And I'm pretty sure everyone in here has had some person, living or not, who has shown unconditional love, which is translated into joy because you know they care. That's such a beautiful space to be in. And I smile because I think about the mom and daughter here in this moment. And it's a beautiful thing, right? To have a guardian or a parent who gives you that kind of love. We don't always appreciate it in our youth because we expect, like, that's what you're for. You know, that's your job. You're supposed to. But then when you get a little more seasoned, I didn't say old, I said seasoned, you begin to have a different perspective, right? And you understand, oh, one, they can only work with what they have. And two, wow, they had a lot of love for me, or have a lot of love for me. And that's a joy in and of itself. So I'm sharing these avenues of joy because so often we think it's this distant thing. And it's really right in our reach. It's in our midst. We get to choose it only if that's what's on our radar. And the reality is sometimes we're so bogged down with our day-to-day that we forget it's available. And there's maybe days and weeks and sometimes months before we can connect with joy again. So I have an exercise for us that will help with that. So I'm going to put this down. And hopefully everyone can still hear me. Folks in the back, you can hear me? Great. So we're going to engage in some tapping. Anybody familiar with tapping? You done some tapping? I'm going to take these off so they don't fall off. We're going to start with the vagus nerve, which is right in this region. The vagus nerve directly aligns with the parasympathetic system. It activates it. Just like breathing deeply activates the parasympathetic system, tapping creates a jump start, if you will. Like you would jump start a car, you can jump start your joy factor. You can jump start your parasympathetic system. So let's start by doing just this. And close the eyes, because sometimes folks get weirded out, like, oh, this is weird. But this is a gift we're giving ourselves. Finding your breath in through the nose And opening the mouth and letting that air out, letting that release that which no longer serves us, that which we're just ready to let go of. And as you do this, play around with your rhythms. Play around with alternating hands. Play around with circular motions. And then extend it up towards the neck, going into the cheeks, tapping the temples, hitting the forehead region. Finding your way back down to the heart space. Going down the arm. Tapping, tapping, tapping. We know these are different meridians, right, that we're tapping into. And meridians, for those who don't know, are just points of alignment that run throughout the body. Switching to the other arm. Working your way back up. Increasing the speed here in the heart space. And then slowing it down. Then slowly moving down the torso, moving to the stomach region. Being gentle here because it hasn't been too long since we've eaten. We want to respect the digestion process. And then coming back up. Addressing the neck, right at the back of the neck. And this is us activating. Activating this part of us that can shift our current mood, can shift our mindset. And as you do this, noticing the kinds of thoughts that are coming to mind. Noticing any emotions that may be surfacing for you. There's even an invitation to envision that joyful time you experienced, or what joy can look like for you in this moment. With eyes lowered or closed, bring a smile to your face as you do this. And notice if shoulders are still lifted or if they're down. Bring them down if they're lifted. And now we're going to take this to the next level. And we're going to make small sounds with each tap, like so. Working down the torso. Working back up. Going back up to the neck, cheeks. Feel free to tap the head all around the scalp. And honor the ways you're led to do this. Letting the fingers travel to those different parts of you. Playing with speed, playing with depth of touch. Noticing how you're feeling right now. Honoring what's coming up for you. Trusting neck down wisdom. Visiting the arms again, arms that are at rest, that aren't typing, that aren't driving, that aren't cooking. Know that you are choosing the parasympathetic system. You're choosing the breath. Slowing down. Slowing down even more. Getting to that point of stopping whenever you're ready. Only when you're ready. And rubbing the hands together. Creating your own energetic elixir. And when you get to that sweet heat that feels good on the hands, take the hands and place them wherever you're needing support in this moment. And breathe deeply. This is us leading with the body. And we'll do this 2 more times, rubbing those hands together. What a joy. We've got hands we can rub together. We can actually honor ourselves and take care of ourselves. Whenever you're ready, touch whatever part of you. It can be the same part, it can be a different part. We get to shift our awareness and our understanding of what joy is. What a joy to take care of ourselves in this way. Listening to the body, being led by the body. When you get to that space where that sweet elixir is ready, and with this particular touching, offer a gentle sway to yourself. Here you get to choose who you bring with you, who you welcome to help with this rocking. It can be you, it can be a loved one, it can be your fairy friend with 4 legs or more. But what a joy to bring such loving kindness to ourselves. And I invite you to sway any way you're feeling. Like I'm noticing I'm kind of doing this circular thing here. But honoring what's coming for you. Welcoming emotions, the gamut of them. Honoring how you're able to show up in this way. This is joy. We get to expand the languaging. There is such a peace in taking care of ourselves in this way. No need for anything else, just us. And in this way, we defy the research that says that 80% of our days were either in the past or the future. We're expanding that 10% that we're present to like at least 30, 40. That's the joy. And we get to bring it to ourselves whenever we create the space and the opportunity. So this is us unlearning. This is us peeling back the layers of years and years and years of being told that joy can only look this way. This is us acknowledging that we're worthy of this kind of self-healing. We're worthy, we're deserving, and it's our birthright. This is us trusting us. This is us prioritizing us. This is us changing how we show up for us. There's no neck roller. There's no heat pack. There's no flotation device. It's just us in our ability to cultivate the thing that we need, supporting ourselves in this way, in community, with people we may not see ever again. But oh, how we'll share this memory of knowing that we cultivated joy in the moment. And those who know me know I'm a huge hugger. So now I invite you to hug yourself. And speak your truth to yourself. Doesn't have to be out loud, unless you want to. But speak your truth right now in this moment. Reminding yourself of your intention. Perhaps a new affirmation is rising for you in this moment. Welcoming any visionings that come for you. Welcoming this opportunity to take care of you. And there's something I want to share with you in closing. Feel free to keep hugging if you want, or not. It's your choice, your body, your joy. So before I share this, the invitation is to take 3 breaths. Let it out. Noticing if there's a shift in how this feels for you. seasoned woman that I am. I need assistance here. You are a miracle walking. I greet you with wonder. In a world which seeks to own your joy and your imagination, you have chosen to be free. Every day as a practice. I can never know the struggles that you have gone through to get to this moment, but I do know that you have swum upstream, and at times it has been lonely. I want you to know I honor the choices you have made in solitude. And I honor the work you have done to belong. I honor your commitment to that which is so much larger than you yourself and your journey. That you may love the particular container of life that is you. You are enough. Your work is enough. You are needed. Your work is sacred. You are here, and I am ever grateful. Radical Magic Love Spell by Adrienne Marie Brown. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for cultivating joy with me. And just because, we get to hug again. So let's hug again. Let's not make it weird. Or let's make it weird. Right? We've got choices. This time maybe squeezing. And squeeze like nobody's watching you. Or actually, if it helps, I'll close my eyes. Okay. My eyes are closed. Squeeze really tightly. Nice sounds. May you carry this joy you've cultivated forward, and may you remember all the ways joy can look and show up in your life.